place very far from this world. And the only way you can get there is through music. Remember, only music can set you free and fill you with energy to life. Be prepared for a new music transformation, and in a moment, you will be transported to this place. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
That was awesome. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Business to make dreams come true.
The HTrain Show.
The HTrain Show.
On your butt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the HTrain Show. Me and Rob are broadcasting from Kokomo, Indiana. Well, I'm broadcasting from Kokomo, Indiana. Rob is on a secret mission broadcasting from an unknown location.
The underground lair. Very underground and Larry-ish. People named Larry are very confused right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are here, the HTrain Show, and it's a little on the scravel, and the reason why being is because I'm literally doing everything off of one computer, so like I told Rob, if it crashes, we are totally screwed because I'm doing everything on one computer. So that's the reason why I was kind of like hazing and I was talking and it was muted and stuff like that. And as right now, what I'm trying to do is I was trying to make sure that we was on Twitch, but of course, apparently that's not going to work. And I just wanted to make sure that that we're streaming, you know, because good old HTrain. Sometimes I forget to hit the live thing, and we're like broadcasting, and we're not doing it. So I just wanted to make sure that we were, streaming and broadcasting. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are listening to the HTrain Show. We're here. Our mission, our only mission, is to show our veterans and our men and women in uniform that there are more programs out there beyond the VA. My name's HTrain.
I'm Rob.
And welcome and thank you for riding with us. So, hey, I think I did pretty well on that, man. You know, I'm here, and since I wasn't planning on doing a show here,
I know.
I forgot to bring the intro. I forgot to bring the intro thing.
Dude, it's impressive the way you pulled this off. I'm extremely impressed.
Are you? Well,
yeah, very impressed.
Hold your breath, because I might screw it up.
Again, to get our basket. No one has won our basket yet. So yeah, keep track. Keep track. So far, we are at a 0. If you can give us at the end of the show the correct number, might be a COVID-19 basket in it for you.
You know what? I tell you what. I'm feeling generous. I'm feeling generous, and I'll explain to you why. I'm feeling generous, and I'm gonna say that we haven't got it yet because you're slacking, Rob. You're slacking with Amazon, but you know what? MBR is gonna go ahead and buy an Echo or an Alexa or something, and we're gonna put it in that basket. So at the end of the show, right at like the 2-minute warning, if you can, while we're still live, if you can guess how many, what, Rob?
We'll just call them mess ups, I guess,
Yeah.
or let's go with that. To be politically correct, let's call them foul ups.
Hiccups. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and say that if anybody guesses right, then we're gonna hook them up with that COVID-19 basket, and we want to make sure that you're able to listen to the show, of course.
Wow.
And we're gonna go ahead and hit you up and get you on the Alexa train.
That's pretty impressive, dude. Look at you. Wow,
Yeah.
you are feeling December already? Christmas is coming?
Hey, well, you know. Well, I tell you what, it's really bad, and I'll explain to you why.
Hit me.
So I came to Indiana just so because some of the viewers, some of the listeners, they might not be on my friends list, and I don't really publicize the stuff like that, I used to. But so what has happened is I had a family member go into the hospital. And my father is very close with my uncle. And, he was feeling kind of down and stuff. And I told him, I'm like, hey, look, I'm going to come and I'm going to support you. I'm not as close to my uncle as my dad is, of course. But he was in the hospital. He had a heart attack. They put I don't know the medical terms of it. So if y'all know, great. You guys can message us, if we're doing something wrong. Tell us, how we're doing. But he had a balloon put into his heart. Whatever a balloon is, I have no clue. It's not the thing that I'm thinking of, but he had a balloon put in his heart, and they couldn't get the balloon out, so they put him on a ventilator. And then, like, after prayers and stuff, the next day, they finally was able to get the balloon out of his heart because I guess he had a weak heart from smoking and stuff, long time ago. And unfortunately, it doesn't matter if you smoked for 30 years or 40 years. If you stop smoking, it's still gonna affect you. Maybe not as quick, but it's still gonna affect you. And so he had they put the ventilator in, and like the next day or whatever, I guess he was doing okay, and they were actually able to take it out of his throat. So now he's doing the whole VA thing and getting the rehab and stuff. It's going to be a long process, but the nice thing is he's still with us today. And I got to see family members that I haven't seen in forever yesterday. It's really sad, Rob, that it takes
A tragedy.
It takes a tragedy to bring people together.
That is literally before the show what I was texting with my little sisters. You're exactly right. It's a disappointment. So I'm actually, because of your situation has inspired me, I'm going to get on the bike and head for Connecticut and go see my family.
There we go. Well, we got Zoom, so we've proved that we can have the show anywhere.
That's right. Hey, man, I'll throw the laptop in the side case and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, there you go. And
Fantastic.
if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, we'll fix a rerun. But Rob, I really appreciate. If I hadn't said it before, I really appreciate you taking care of MBR and the interns and stuff. And I know that my interns, they're like, oh, how do I do this? How I do that? And I'm like, when I come back, we'll fix that.
Your passion for this is contagious, and it makes other people want to participate, which is why you have such a list of people that, the Brandon Stokeleys that help you out. There's a list of people that really, really like what you've got going on. Like I said, your passion is very contagious.
Well, I'm good. I'm glad. I'm very thankful from that, and me and you need to still make time so that I can show you the ropes, because one of these days I want to be the Aaron, and you're gonna be the trap, that the interview that we're gonna have later on in the program, and I'm gonna be able to run a business, and you're gonna just do it all, Rob.
That interview today,
Yes.
that hit me.
Yeah.
I like that guy. I love that guy. I had a great time with that. That was moving.
Yeah, it was awesome. I really like him a lot. I still have to meet him. The only bad thing about coming here is I want to see all these people, but if I want to see them, I have to go to them, because they're not going to come to me. I think that's just how it is. When I'm in Colorado and somebody visits Denver, I've already have my schedule. I already have everything established. So if people want to visit me and, they just like show up in town, it's not like I can just, grab on the bike and go. I've got chores, I've got errands, I've got stuff that I got to do. So, it is what it is. I used to get upset because I'd be like, well, it's crap that, I live, I'm here 20 minutes away, and nobody comes to visit me. But it's that's just how it is, Rob. And I think that's what it is everybody has their own thing going on, and sometimes they can't make available time for everybody. I mean, whenever you say, hey, how's it going, how are you doing, everybody's always saying busy. They should just say, hey, I'm living my life, because pretty much that's what it consists of.
Going on, I mean, kids and bills, and I mean, you and I mean, working full time and a radio show on Monday nights, and all the stuff that goes on during the week to make Monday night happen. I mean, yeah. So I totally get it. Well, I mean, my schedule, if I step away from my electronic schedule, my Google Calendar, man, I am lost. I'm useless. If it's not on my Google Calendar, it's not happening. So that's just my gig. But yeah, it's just the way people are, man. It's not a hit on people.
No,
people
I don't think so. I used to get really mad, and I really used to get upset. But I don't know. Maybe I've just grown.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
The map behind you tonight, is that of Kokomo, Indiana?
Yes. If I duck down,
which people watching on video appreciate.
That little dot right there. I don't know if you can see the cursor or not, but that little dot right there, that is Kokomo. When I lived here, there was under 20,000, maybe 15,000 people here, and now it's populated about 35, nearly 40,000 people. It's gotten bigger. And a small town like this, the thing that really like surprises me, that just makes me kind of like, huh, I wonder how that's possible, is like, I graduated, you graduated, and that there's kids and in ninth grade and stuff like that. But when you think about it, it's like, how in the world do they create more kids and keep the school alive? Have you ever wondered that?
No. So high school sucked for me. I hated it, dude. I hated every second of it. I couldn't wait to get out of my hometown. So I don't ever think about my hometown because I don't ever want to go back there. I'm going back to see my sisters, and that's about it, man. No, I don't ever wonder anything about what goes on in Southbury, Connecticut. That's just me.
No, because when I left my hometown, I'm thinking, okay, well, my graduating class it was 100 people,
Uh-huh.
and most classes they're like 300, 400, 500, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, wow, if this is 100 people, I hate to see what it's going to be like in 5-10 years. The school might be in op. And it's still going strong, man. They've like added things, and it's like, holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never been to Kokomo, Indiana. I can't even begin. I don't know that I've ever been to Indiana, to be honest. I can't picture it. I picture flat is what I picture.
Right.
I assume it's similar to Nebraska.
Right. Now, it's everybody that's listening to our broadcast, if you could help me and Rob out, since we're getting ready to go on our music break,
The number.
let us know, text or call or whatever, but let us know how the volume is. Does it sound pretty good? And remember, it's not going to be like perfect
I don't know.
because I'm working on a remote or on a little mixer compared to what I usually work on. So, but somebody just wrote me and said that the volume lower or whatever. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure that we'll figure it out once we go on music break. But before we go on music break, Rob, how has your week been?
Well, it's only Monday, but the week between Monday and Monday,
Yeah.
aware of, has been super busy. It's been a good time. Being retired from the Army and going through that process, and I'm on leave and everything for retirement, but there's a lot of things that go along with that: transitioning healthcare, transitioning the family, bills, paychecks, things like that. It's not a simple process, as Aaron will talk about later in our interview. And yeah, so he's right. There's stress to it. There's a lot to do with it.
Okay. All right. Well, good stuff. People are telling me on the phone that we're good. So
Cool.
that's always a plus. But ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get more. I will say this before we start the program, and I posted this on Facebook, and we're running a little late, and I'm sorry about that, but I think this is very important. There's a lot of things going on right now, and me and Rob aren't going to get into it, with the whole rioting that's going on national. But I will say this: this will be how I endorse it. Okay, just because you believe in one side or another does not mean that your friends believe it on one side or another. So just because you posted on Facebook, I understand that it's your wall, and I understand, how you feel about it, but there's a two-way streak. Think about your friends, family that are on Facebook that are listening, because it's not just your Facebook. Just think about it, because we have two things that we can do every morning, Rob. We can either, number one, we can get on Facebook and we can connect with families and friends and share with them and tell them how they're doing, because everybody's busy, like I said, okay? Or we can get on Facebook and post like political and controversial issues, and you're not going to change anybody's mind on Facebook. You're just going to make them upset.
I won't
So-
ever on social media.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, right. So just remember your friends and family. Respect their views, and respect them. Don't put them in that place where they look at your Facebook and they cringe, kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Agree completely.
Yeah. So, with that being said, everybody, we are going to go on our first music break. And we're going to see if this messes up or not. But whatever you do, stay with us. Don't go away. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the HTrain Show.
They're cool tats, man.
Oh, for real. Thank you, bro. You see the Cobra?
And what is this one?
Oh, this?
Hey, it's Rob with the Colorado State leader for Mission 22. Practicing social distancing today out on the road. I understand for a lot of us that with no gym being open, no jiu-jitsu going on, I know it's a challenging time right now for a lot of folks. You're looking for that community, you're looking for something. Reach out. You know the number, 303-301-5052. You can call that number anytime. I will answer. I know a lot of people are having a hard time. Reach out to your friends. Don't wait till you're in that dark place. Don't wait till you're in that pit. Before you get down there, reach out to your friends. Say, hey, let's talk. Let's go have some social distancing together. Cool? Hey, again, reach out to mission22.com.
Hi, I'm Nico Marcolongo with the Challenge Athletes Foundation. I'm proud to be here with other nonprofits to support our troops get from the front line to the finish line.
You supported us, now we're supporting you.
Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us. That's www.mikebravoradio.us. Or you can hit us up, iTunes, and Android store. Keep listening. We will be right back. I promise.
Just a few minutes, we will begin adding these artifacts to the molten bronze as we cast an historic bell, the Honor Bell. The inspiration for the Honor Bell was about 3 years ago. I attended a funeral for a World War II veteran, and at the conclusion of the ceremony, there were no military honors given. And so I thought, there's got to be a better way to honor our service members, and certainly our veterans from the greatest generation. We had the concept of putting artifacts from military veterans in the actual bell.
We invited the Honor Bell Foundation from Denver, Colorado to come and watch us cast the first Honor Bell.
Each state line we stopped, we did a dignified transfer of these artifacts from one motorcycle group to the next, until we've gotten all the way here to Cincinnati and the Verdun Foundry, where we did one final dignified transfer.
It was a long journey, but it gave emphasis more to what we were doing and showing that the nation actually appreciated what we were doing.
I donated 2 of my husband's artifacts to the bell, his belt buckle from the Coast Guard and his dog tag from the Coast Guard. I just felt that the Coast Guard with the insignia on it was something that was really special.
We have artifacts from each major war since World War II.
The metal was so hot that it basically just melted those artifacts into the molten metal so that it makes those metals actually a part of the bell.
Working with the Verdun Company has just been an incredible experience for us. They've been working as partners with us all along the way, and without them, we would never have the success that we have now for the first Honor Bell.
It's neat to be able to partner with the Honor Bell Foundation that has this mission to bring one of these bells to every national cemetery.
The Honor Bell Foundation, in partnership with Cincinnati's own Verdun Company, has forged the 1,000-pound bronze bell you see in left center field. After the pregame festivities, the Honor Bell will be escorted by the Patriot Guard Riders and Cincinnati Police, who will lead the bell away from the ballpark and begin the 1,192-mile journey to the bell's permanent home at Fort Logan National Cemetery in Denver.
tolling of the bell really signifies a solemn moment. And each time it tolls, in our case 7 times, each one of those tolls represents something special and something that was lost to our country, and in this case, a veteran. The next sound you will hear after the moment of silence that we are about to have will be the first tolling of the honor bell at Fort Logan National Cemetery.
These bells will be put all over the country to celebrate these lives of these soldiers that given their life truly for our freedom that we enjoy here in the United States.
Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us. That's www.MikeBravoRadio.us. Or you can hit us up, iTunes, and Android Store. Keep listening. We will be right back. I promise.
My name is Star Baxter, and I grew up in rural Nebraska. When I was 19, I joined the United States Marine Corps and served as a military police officer from 1997 to 2005. Yes, I deployed to Kuwait and Iraq, and I saw firsthand, like many others, the toils of true hate that comes with war. I often just shook my head in disbelief, unable to comprehend what was happening to me mentally.
When I came home, my mom came to visit me and insisted that I had changed and was different. Honestly, that just pissed me off more. But as time passed, I realized I had changed. The biggest realization came in March of 2005, when I took my then 5-year-old daughter to Disneyland for her birthday. We got our tickets at the gate and then entered the park. Main Street was packed. We made it about 100 feet into the park, and already 5 people had pushed or shoulder bumped us. I felt my blood pressure rising and wanted everyone to just back away. When I felt a squeeze of my hand and I looked down, my daughter looked up at me with a smile and said, "Mom, are you okay? Let's just go to the beach." I was divorced and in the middle of a custody battle. I wanted to go home to Nebraska to be with family to help me, but I was court ordered to stay in California or give up custody of my daughter, so I was forced to go through my pain alone. I self-isolated, I drank a lot, and when I did land a civilian job, I struggled with personal interactions and could not comprehend the seemingly laid-back laziness of people in general. In 2011, I was finally able to move to Colorado to be closer to family and my sister. With the help and encouragement of my sister, I started to get back to my roots of horses. It started simple, a ride here and there, helping her clean horses or helping muck stalls. Then I was asked to go to one of the shows and show a horse for our friend Brenda. She put me on a horse named Silky. Silky was patient and kind and guided me through that show. The following year, I married my now husband, Wade Davis, and we purchased 10 acres. I purchased a horse and started working with her to get back to showing myself. I discovered that with horses, I was able to go to events and be around groups of people. Being on top of a horse, no one would crowd around near you, and if someone did get too close for comfort, I'd just lie to them and say my horse kicks. They move really quick when you say that. Also, I was able to focus on my horse and not myself and my own anxieties about being around people. Slowly over the last 5 years, people have asked for my assistance and guidance to help them and their horses. I learned that I really enjoy helping those who want help and coaching. I push others to work hard and to be the best that they can be. My coaching is focused on the sport of extreme trail riding or obstacle challenges, and I often joke that it's called stupid human tricks with horses, but in reality it's a sport in which a very high level of trust and partnership needs to be in place in order to be competitive. A rider must trust that their horse will take care of them, and a horse needs to trust that the rider will not put them in a bad situation. It truly is about overcoming obstacles in life and in the arena. Photography was always a little hobby of mine. Taking pictures, I could essentially hide behind the camera and did not have to socialize with anyone. In 2018, at an obstacle challenge, I was just randomly taking pictures and I posted a few on Facebook. Those pictures got noticed, and with the help and encouragement of a few close friends, I agreed to take official pictures at an event, and to my disbelief, people actually paid me money for them. In the last 2 years, I have launched a website to advertise and promote my photography and offer horsemanship coaching. My goal and hope is that through my passions, horses, photography, and coaching, I can help others so they don't have to struggle alone like I did.
We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits and today's connections to help our military transition to civilian life. Keep watching. Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our...
Hey everybody, Max Wade with you here. Idiot, DJ, sex symbol to the stars. Just don't tell Brad Pitt, he gets a little nervous. Hey, I'm also an 8-year Navy veteran and member of Operation Desert Storm, along with the newest VJ at MBR. Make sure you tune in every Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, 6 a.m. Mountain Time. I'll be bringing you 2 hours of great classic rock along with today's alternative. I'm a rocker, folks. So be sure to tune in. We'll have a blast, a little comedy in there. You just never know. Again, that's every Monday morning and Friday morning from 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, 6 a.m. Mountain Time for 2 hours of the Just Wait Here show. We'll see you on Monday, May 18th. Aloha live.
Ahead tonight, a Parker coffee shop owner is giving back to some of his...
Hey, this is Reverend Gary Belk here with Rightly Dividing the Word of Truth. Are you into religion? Not me. Hopefully you're not either. I'm into truth. So what is truth? Well, it's not relative, it's absolute. Truth is information that it's the same for everybody, no matter where you live, no matter when you live. We're into truth. And if you want to join us, it's at like 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that would probably be like 5 a.m. here in the Mountain West. And so we would enjoy for you to join us and learn truth. So here's what, let me just share with you just a second. 7 worldviews. What worldview do you have? I'm a theist. God created. And all of the worldviews other than theism are self-defeating. So let's learn together as to why they're self-defeating and why theism is truth. Not into church doctrine, except if church doctrine is biblical. Join us this coming Sunday. MBR, all right? Get that down. Write that down. Carve it into your skin if you need to. No, I'm just kidding. MBR Radio. God bless you. Look forward to...
I'm the founder and CEO of the Wounded Veterans Program. You're listening to the HTrain Show.
All right, everybody, and we are back. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. Of course, you're listening to the HTrain Show. And today it's a little bit special. Not only did we goof up earlier, because evidently one of my things on my board went out on it, but Rob forgot to wear the correct shirt. So he'll probably correct that later in the program, I'm sure. But for everybody else, we have a special treat. Uh Currently right now, I am broadcasting from Germany. No, I'm just teasing. I'm broadcasting from a little town called Kokomo, Indiana. Kokomo, Indiana. And no, it's not the Beach Boys song. I swear to God, I should kick whoever wrote that in the nuts because it brought so many tourists and there's nothing close. It's all corn here. But anyways, so
tourists.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was terrible there for a while. And it was bad because it's not like it was a brand new song. It was like an old song and then they like dug it up out of the vault and then everybody started coming and stuff.
We're going to talk about that part later, so keep going.
But ladies and gentlemen, we have a small business here in Kokomo. It's a very established auto body shop. My best friend works there. He is a painter. I'm pretty sure Aaron's a painter, but I don't really know a whole lot. In fact, me and Aaron's heard about each other for 3 years now, and we've never met. And I'm in town, and we still haven't met. Isn't that funny? But ladies and gentlemen, veteran-owned and veteran-operated Aaron Wilson joins us from AA Auto Body. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, the main reason why we wanted to have you on is because, this COVID-19, it's, and I'll tell you, Rob, it's different here than it is in Denver.
It is okay.
Like nobody's hardly wearing masks, but you go to like a store or whatever. First time I've ever went to Best Buy, and I didn't have to ask somebody for something. Like they came to me and they're like, "What do you need?" I told them, and they like brought it to me in like 5 minutes. Fastest I've ever gotten waited on at Best Buy. It's that crazy. So it seems like the stores are taking it serious, but people are just like, whatever kind of thing around here in Kokomo. So that's the picture that I'm painting for you for here in Kokomo. I don't know how it's going at the auto body shop. Aaron, tell us a little bit, first of all, about your service. We know that you was in the Army. Tell us a little about your service and how you kind of transition from the military to civilian life.
Well, I think that transition is almost a lifelong process. I don't think you ever fully transition. But in high school, I was in automotive painting classes. It was kind of like a extra, high school transition to college course kind of a thing. And I took those courses. And then in 2003, I joined the Army, and it was
a rough time.
All over the place with that. But when I got done with basically all the time in the service, I went ahead and got back to civilian life, and I'd worked in a few shops under people, and then I don't know, just decided to branch off and do it myself one day, and I'm still here. So it was just something I wanted to try. I mean, if you're fighting for freedom and the American dream, and then you're not executing that dream yourself, working for another individual, I don't think so. I wanted to go out and try to live that, I did it myself dream of owning a shop. So that's kind of the urge that pushed me to do what I did, and it's worked out well. Definitely have had scary times, opening up and not having a true business game plan of what to do, not having any idea how to run a business, and just listening to advice from, fellow friends that are business owners, and got an accountant to keep the books straight. But it's tracking along pretty well. We're doing good. We're growing every year. We haven't really slowed down on our growth any, and picking up, new business, new contracts, and just plugging away.
I love that. That is awesome. That isn't, man, you make me happy. You make me super happy. I love hearing about veterans that get out and are successful after they get out. And I love hearing, you know, hey, I wanted to do it my way kind of thing. Those are stories that really, really, really make me happy. If veterans say, you know, I'm listening to this podcast, I'm deployed overseas in Iraq or Afghanistan somewhere or someplace else really nasty, and I'm listening to this on my radio over the internet, and I decide that I want to be an entrepreneur myself, what suggestions do you have for service members that are looking to get out and start their own gig, man?
Well, I mean, you gotta just jump in with both feet.
Okay.
I didn't really have any money when I did this. I just went out and started pursuing it, and it was a small step-by-step thing to make it get to where it's at. I wouldn't have been able to start and just have what I have right now. It wouldn't have been feasible. I went to basically the real estate market and tried to find a garage-like type structure that would facilitate what I needed it to do for the beginning stages of my business. And I was in that building for a year, and that's all it took. After that, I needed a bigger building. I needed more employees. I needed more help. And, but I'm a year in as a new business owner. I've got, you know, probably the worst credit in the world when it comes to, hey, I need $100,000 to buy a building, you know. So I started looking for a lease option, and I found a couple buildings that I wanted to lease, but they weren't for lease. They were for sale. So I approached the guy that had the buildings for sale, and I told him my story. And I basically just said, hey, look, I can't buy it, but I need it. Will you lease it? Here's my plan. This is what I'm doing. This is where I've came from and where I'm at. I've outgrown what I started it, and I need to use this building. And he wrote up a contract and let me lease it off of him. And then he set me down, and it was about a year after we started the lease. And he said, look, you know, I think I can take you down to the bank that I do business with, and we can get you financed on this building. And I said, well, I've only been in business. This is the second year. The bank approved everything. Like, we went down, I showed my books. That's probably the biggest bit of advice. If you're going to jump into a business, get a CPA to cover your books. That way they can track your profit and loss. And then that can be used as basically your income statement, even though you don't have showable income because you haven't had enough tax returns to show your credibility as a business, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, they financed me, and the building's now, you know, mine, but I mean, it's on mortgage or whatnot, but everything's owned now in my name. And we're still just kind of, I don't know, trying to learn how to expand and keep growing.
Now, now Rob, they from what I understand, they only got like 4 employees there at that garage. So it's a pretty small garage. Aaron, how many vehicles do you guys get in there a week? Because I know Mike was I should say Trap. He's going to kill me if I say Mike. I know that Trap told me that he has at least 2 cars that he has to do a day. So that tells me that you guys get 10 vehicles at least a week.
Yeah, I mean, some jobs are small, some jobs are large. We try to schedule 5 to 8 cars a week. We've got random drop-offs that show up. We've got tow-ins that get crashed and they get towed in. We've got car lots that just drop stuff right in the middle of the week on us. So there's always more that shows up than what is on the schedule. You've got to always kind of look for that to happen and not be overscheduled on your actual schedule, because random stuff happens in the collision world. But we process somewhere between 6 and 10 cars a week. But I mean, some of them they're being done that week, but they might have been in the shop for 2 weeks. So they might be a carryover from last week, but you know, that car count's going to be that car count for that week. It pops out about 6 to 10 a week. But, you know, sometimes Mike will be in the booth. He'll be shooting 4 different bumper covers for 4 different cars all on the same day. So you're going to get 4 jobs done, but they're just a bumper cover. Right. But then Justin, he might be working on a $5,000 hit that he started 2 weeks ago, but he just now finished it this week. And then, you know, so you got some guys are working on the heavy hits, and then you got some guys working on the light hits. But to keep Mike busy, yeah, he needs a paint job in the morning and a paint job in the afternoon. And it takes, 2 to 3 body men to feed him enough paint work to keep him full. But that's the goal of the shop. Always keep Mike buried. Trapped, buried.
So tell us like the update with this Core 19. How has it affected you guys at all, or have you really not seen the effect?
I don't know, man. It's like we got the first 2 weeks that all this started happening, we got like scary, ominous, the phone quit ringing, like the end of the world happened, like, oh God, just like everything stopped. And then, we got that week's work done. We were kind of slowing down on pulling in new work. And then about after that, it got busy. Like I don't know, it's like it backed up. It's like everybody put everything on hold for a couple of weeks and then nothing got fixed. So the work didn't like not happen or not get done. It just didn't come into the shop. So when it came into the shop, it was kind of backlogged is what it feels like. Because in the automotive repair industry, I've got a couple other buddies that are, shop owners, and they are just as busy as we are right now. And it's fortunate, but like all this stuff going on, it kind of, I don't know, it kind of creates, I would say, more work for the body shop. You got people out running around doing 100 million things that they don't really need to be doing, but they're in a panic state. Stuff gets tore up in parking lots. People, break whatever happens, door dings and whatnot. So, we've had several instances where people came in and they said they got hit in a parking lot because somebody was, kind of freaking out because of the initial 2-week panic of just all the stores being bought out. Well, those people didn't come in for that work to be, done or estimated or anything, but 2 weeks later they did. And then they all kind of came in a wave. But we've thankfully been steadily busy. We haven't really lost anything as far as, I would say on an annual report, it doesn't look like it's going to affect me much.
There's still groceries on the table.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of other companies in town that are still closed down, and I've heard of a couple that aren't going to open back up. But I think in the service world, everybody always needs service. It's one thing to shut down somebody that's selling a retail product that's hard to recover from, but a service is kind of, it's always necessary. So that's kind of one of the line sets that I had in going into the automotive field. Cars are always going to be around. Cars are always going to need to be fixed. And, as cars progress down the line and technology changes and the interiors change and they just get smarter and smarter and they start going keyless and everything's wireless and who knows what the future will bring, but a Tesla still has paint on it. They're never going to be able to teach a robot how to fix a dent.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know. I know that you can use a plunger to fix out a dent. Trap taught me that.
Yeah. I'm sure. I don't know. I'm sure if you want the little bit of the wrinkliness left, that's okay.
But I'm sure it looked great when you were done, H.
Yeah, we won't go there. All right.
This might turn into a Jetsons flying car paint facility at one point in the future. Who knows?
So I have a couple different questions. So like you talked about some of the rough times as for veterans looking to get into something like this and open their own business, things like that. Tell us about some of the tough times that you had, some of the obstacles you had to get past.
Well, I didn't know a whole lot about how finances worked in a small business. I didn't know what kind of surprises that I was going to get when I started running. And when you run a business, you accrue tax and stuff that if you don't know it's there, it just kind of accrues and you don't know it's there. Well, a lot of the things that I was paying that my accountant was telling me I needed hey, I need $1,600 for you to pay this bill. Well, I thought that was kind of like a one-time open my business, certificate thing or something. Well, then the next quarter or week or month would come by, and that bill was actually a revolving bill. And it's like, okay, that wasn't a one-time hit. That's kind of a surprise that popped back up again. What is it for? And the biggest one that I had trouble with was basically the payroll tax for your employees. And you're paying somebody a wage. If you look at your check stub, you've got your taxable withholdings. Well, that gets paid once a month. And then the employer, he matches the Social Security that's on that check stub in addition to paying all those taxes that's on that check stub. So, when you're an employee, you get a check from your boss and you're like, oh, I made $400 this week. What the heck? Well, your boss, he actually paid $700 for you to get that $400.
Oh, wow.
And that money is all paid at the end of the month. So it adds up. I was running 1 or 2 guys. It wasn't bad. When I was running 4 or 5, I'd had 6 at one point, and then it got to where there was no profit to having that many employees. The 941s kind of got out of hand. I couldn't get enough work in the building to, I guess, sustainably make a profit with the amount of taxes that we were incurring. So that was a rough, learning curve. Right now, with the amount of bays that the shop has, the amount of work that the shop can turn, 4 guys is a good number. You might be able to squeeze a 5th guy in if we cleaned up a little bit of the stuff and got, everything organized real well. But I mean, we're looking at having 10 to 13 cars in the shop at a time. You got to have, each guy's working on about 3 cars at once to get them done in time to provide that 2 job a day for the painter to get done.
So, addition to running the business, do you get the opportunity to still do what you enjoy, and that's paint cars?
I have actually been kind of pushed away from working on cars after, I'd say, 5 years in. It got hard to stay out there and stay in the working part of it. I still there's certain things that I have to do. It's not, I guess, that I have to do them, but I would rather do them than have an employee do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have, I'm trying to transition to get those things, taken care of on the employee side. But I've found lately that when I need to go out and do one of those tasks, the office side of it's gotten so busy that it'll take me 4 hours to do an hour job. I'll get pulled away from it 10 times. So I'll have to write 3 estimates in the middle, catch 10 phone calls, talk to 4 people, write 2 checks to parts deliveries, and then I still need to go out here and weld 4 more welds on this bedside before I'm done. And it's supposed to take me an hour to do this, and we're at noon. That kind of happened today. But
and then somebody wants to interview on the radio, and it just never.
It's just easier if I can stay out of it, because as soon as I start on something, it's almost like I slow down the progress. Because if I get in there and I'm messing with it, and then I get pulled away, the guys, they're like, well, he'll finish it. I don't want to get in there and finish it for him. But at the same time, it's like, well, I might not be able to finish it until tomorrow. And now we're holding on to a car. Yeah. So have
you had a day off, Aaron?
Well, when I opened the shop, I told myself I was never going to work a Saturday, and I've not had a Saturday off since we opened. It's been a 6-day a week. My guys' normal time card is 44 hours. They're kind of forced into overtime on a normal. But I don't know. It's paint life is different than your 9 to 5. There's windows of time to get stuff done, and you've got to sometimes work late to do that, or you'll have failed product. So you can ask Trap about it. You've got, you've got a sealer application. You got 45 minutes. You've got to get the base coat on it, or it's going to delaminate. After your base coat goes down, you've got 12 hours to get your clear coat on, or it's going to delaminate. So if you're pushing 5 o'clock and you've got base coat down, and you've got to get your clear coat down before you leave and go home for an, overnight away from work session, you're going to have to stay and get that clear coat down before you leave. So that pushes you into trying to figure out your schedule for the day to make sure you can get stuff done before 5, but sometimes the job's just too large, and there's times that, you have that really large job and you try to, push it off a day to where you can get everything prepped on it as perfect as you can do it and start on it the next morning at 8, just so you can have enough time to get the entire paint job down without running out of that expiration time. But sometimes you're still pulling a 12-hour day to do it. But other than that, we try to get in and get out and have a home life as normal as we can. But there's lots of days. I mean, you can ask Trap, man. He works 50, 60 hours a week. That's his normal. But he likes it. And there's a lot of you get a lot of, I guess, I don't know. There's a humbling feeling about getting somebody's car back to him. There's appreciation there. So that's a factor. But, he really, truly enjoys what he does, I believe, or he wouldn't be here still. But right. There's just taking something that's tore up and watching somebody's reaction when you give it back to them, that's a good feeling. So there's enjoyment on that level and just trying to do good for the community. I mean, we do a lot of giving back. I sponsor just about every baseball team and basketball team in Kokomo, and it seems like, I don't know if this will help you, but here's my sponsorship wall. So we got race cars, sprint car drivers, basketball teams, baseball teams, more cars. If it's hanging on my wall, it's something I've done for free.
Aaron, you're missing something on that wall.
What's that? The sticker that was on my forehead a minute ago?
Yes.
Exactly.
Where you wanted that?
That's okay. You know what? We're gonna make you something.
I need a bigger sticker.
Yeah. We can do that. We can do that. Aaron, I really appreciate it. We're running out of time. I'm going to ask you one last question before we get into the big question that we always ask, and I'll let Rob explain to you what that question is. But the last question I have is, Rob mentioned it. If there's troops coming back from, these nasty places, Iraq, Afghanistan, and let's say they want to intern, they want to learn about, how to paint. Maybe they're like, this is something that I've always wanted to do. Is that something that you guys would be up to, is interning some veterans if they were interested in going that route?
I would never turn down the teaching of anybody that wanted to learn. Definitely, if there's veterans out there that are interested, it's not a hard thing to learn. You just got to have a drive to want to do it. And if you want to do it and you want to learn it, it's not hard to learn, but it takes a long time to learn it. And it always changes. There's no finish to what we do. They're always changing products. They're always changing procedures. They're changing metals. They're changing the way you weld them. They're using, different compounds for everything. And it changes. It seems like about every 2 years, there's a new product that trumps the product that was out before. And you got to basically forget what you knew and learn the new stuff. So you got to have that revolving ability to always adapt. But that's what makes it fun, But if someone's wanting to learn how to do it, I'd be more than happy to bring them in and show them how to do it.
And you forgot that one key aspect that Trap keeps on telling me that they don't have. Can you guess what that is, Rob?
That it's in Kokomo, Indiana?
No. The one skill that I do not have.
The ability to grow hair?
No.
Both of you have that problem.
Patience.
I shave mine.
He didn't know? This is the Cue Ball Posse show.
I got a rubber glove in there. I could probably stretch it over my head. I might be able to make it look like one of them net things.
You're hired.
Man, it's not even funny. Every time I go visit Trap, he always tries to put turtle wax on it. So it stopped being funny after the first visit.
So what's the one thing, H? Let's tell us.
Patience.
Oh, yeah. We don't. Neither one of us. Yeah, that's why.
You got a lot more patience than I do, Rob.
Not me, man. Not me.
Well, it is that time, Rob. Guess what time it is?
It's that 2 minutes. It's time to shine.
I swear to God, every time I listen to it, it sounds like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys or something.
What? Aaron is shaking his head right now, like, what did I volunteer to participate with? What are we talking about?
If you don't like your background music plug, I mean, you're the one that put it on there. I suppose you could change it.
Yeah, well, we asked Black Panther Death Punch to do it for us, but it came out really weird. So yeah, Aaron. So check it out, man. First of all, we really appreciate all the time that you've given us. I know it's very precious, your time is as a business owner. Is there a question that we didn't ask? Is there a point that we didn't hit? Is there something that you'd like to spend a little bit more time on? Is there something you'd like to talk about a little bit more that we might have passed over? This is your time to kind of blast that out there. If there's something else you want to talk about, is there something we missed?
I mean, business wise, I don't think there's much out there. It's kind of a learning thing on my side too, but just overall military in life, all these guys, it seems like you're broadcasting to a lot of people still overseas. When they get back, if they've never been over and this is their first time tour, tell them to take their time when they get back home and go through the steps to demobilize properly. I rushed through that stuff, and you deal with it for a long time. And like I said before, I don't know if it ever goes away. It's kind of a lifelong transition, and it'd help if people knew that when they got out. Mm-hmm. You can't just come home and turn off a light switch, but you can come home and be happy again. It just, it's a time, time heals everything. But I don't, if someone would have told me that, it would have made a lot more sense, the behavior that you have when you get home. And you have a behavior, everybody, you come home and you think nothing's changed, but yeah, things have changed. So just, put that out there. I guess that'd be the only thing.
Powerful words, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
very,
thank you,
very,
Aaron.
very much.
I really
you spoke to a
appreciate
very
it.
large audience right there.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that.
And
H, what else you got for him?
And the biggest thing that I liked about that.
H is frozen solid.
Uh-oh.
Look at him. He's not moving.
Still? Man, we almost went the whole show that without any issues. Still frozen? Really? Yeah, I guess so. All right, well. There we go. I had to turn up my mic a little bit. We're not frozen anymore now. Please,
who's not?
We're not frozen anymore. I literally just jumped off real quick and then came back on, and apparently you can hear me, but you can't see me at the map anymore. There I are. Okay. Anyways, so
radio. I love live radio. You never know what's gonna happen,
right? Now, I'm going to say this again because I don't think a lot of people realize it, okay? But I had to toot my own horn. I'm kind of impressed because this whole thing that I've done tonight, the interview, everything, usually I have, ask Rob, I have 6 or 7 screens. I'm doing all of this with one computer and one mixer, and then I have the iPad over here for the soundboard. I wasn't planning on doing the show. I told Rob, I'm like, yeah, well, we'll figure it out. We'll see if this works or not. If not, then we just won't do it. So hey, it's working. But that was a great interview. We really appreciate Aaron, your time and stuff to do that. If you didn't know about it, it is double A auto body. If you're in Kokomo, they really do good work, and it's a veteran owned and veteran run. So you want to make sure to go over there and support them. Rob, it is time. We're going to go on that next music break. And I'll talk to you on the other side. For everybody else, Stay tuned. We're going to go on a music break, and when we come back, it is me and Rob's favorite segment. It is What the Moment. So whatever you do, stay with us. Don't go away. You don't want to miss you don't want to miss this topic. So stay with us. Don't go away. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the HTrain Show.
Military Broadcast Radio Network. My name is Dominic Lawson, and I am the host of The Startup Life, the show for entrepreneurs and career-minded professionals. And we are so glad and so eager to bring The Startup Life to the Military Broadcast Radio Network. Now, you may be wondering, who the hell am I? What the hell is The Startup Life? I'm glad you asked. So, first me. I'm an Army vet for 5 years, and while I was in the service, I had all these ideas for starting a company and stuff like that, but I wasn't sure what to do about that. So when I got out of the service, I was like, you know what, maybe I'm not ready just yet. But so I went back to work. The thing is about when you have that entrepreneurial mindset, those ideas just never go away. So I talked to my wife, and coming to find out, she had the same idea about starting a company. So we talked about it, and we started a company. We started Owls LLC, an education consulting firm where we write curriculum and do professional development with teachers, school districts, nonprofits, and things of that nature. And then from there, I started noticing all of these different business philosophies, the way a school has its business model, another business have their business model. And I started writing this blog. And the thing is about that blog is that, it was taking a lot of time. So my wife, being the smarter half of us, said, you know what, you should start a podcast. So in November 1st of 2016, that's exactly what we did. We started The Startup Life. And so that was 3.5 years ago. And now we've grown the show to over 160 episodes. Now, what you get from The Startup Life is we bring in the best business minds from around the world. We're talking Mark Randolph, the co-founder and first CEO of Netflix. We're talking about Tom Golisano, the founder and chairman of Paychex. We're even talking about the chairman of JetBlue Airways and Stanford business professor, Joel Peterson. And so we bring all of these great business minds and we bring them to you, MBR. So that way you can scale your entrepreneurial mindset. You can scale your leadership acumen, whether you're still in the service or you're about to become a veteran and start that path of civilian life. So if you're ready to upgrade your entrepreneurial mindset and you're ready to just totally level up, join me every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Military Broadcast Radio Network. Let's go.
Man, we're stuck. The coronavirus is really taking a huge toll on everyone, especially people with disabilities.
When I found out about the Paralympics being postponed until 2021, I felt devastated right away. But CAF has really helped.
I was so excited to hear from the Challenge Athletes Foundation that I received a grant for some training, which is going to be so helpful once I'm able to get active and back at the barn.
This grant was truly a ray of sunshine in an otherwise dark time.
I'm smiling because I received my first CAF grant to travel all over the world.
I would just like to take a moment and thank the Challenge Athletes Foundation
They're giving everybody that I care about and I know hope.
I'm so excited to get running legs.
Thank you, CAF, for supporting me in my dreams.
I cannot wait until we beat this pandemic together.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tim Wakeside. I'm the president of Tee It Up for the Troops. And like you, I've been kind of cooped up at home, and this coronavirus has us all dealing with these stay-at-home orders. And we decided, let's get outside, let's have a little fun, and let's see if we can also support America's veterans and military families. So our team at Tee It Up for the Troops put their heads together, and we're really excited to launch our new Step It Up for the Heroes Challenge. So the Step It Up for the Heroes Challenge is a very simple exercise where you can do it just about anywhere. And our heroes, our American military veterans, they stepped up for us, and so it's time for us to step up for them. As I said, this is a challenge you can do with anyone. You can do it anywhere. You can do it any day. We've actually come up with 6 different activities. Some are golf related, some are kind of social related, like a virtual happy hour or something like that. And you can even pick your own choice of an activity if that meets your needs better. So have some fun with it. It's easy to do. All you have to do is go to our Tee It Up for the Troops website, which is teeitupforthetroops.org. You'll register on our website. When you register, we'd ask you to consider making a donation. All of the donations that you make will go direct towards supporting our veterans and our military families. And once you register and sign in, you complete your challenge. And we ask that when you do your challenge, have fun with it, capture some photos, capture some videos, and then take it viral. Go and post this on your social media sites. Tag Tee It Up for the Troops. Add us into your post, and then you go out and we ask you to challenge others to also do this. So the Step It Up for Heroes challenge, again, tag us, include us, and then move on to inviting other friends and family to get involved with this as well. At the end of this, we will be selecting some of the best videos and photos, the most inspiring, the most fun, and then we'll be sending the winners a pullover like I have on right here for Tee It Up for the Troops. So as I mentioned, all the information you need can be found on our website at teeitupforthetroops.org, and you can get everything you need there to figure out how to register and get involved. So the reality of the situation we're in today with this pandemic is that all of us are having to deal with very difficult situations, but the truth is that our combat veterans, many of whom are already dealing with PTSD and high anxieties and other things related to combat, maybe even thoughts of suicide, they're really having a difficult time. And so it's time for us to step up and support them. And so I encourage you to please go to our website, register. You can ship it up, you can put it up, you can do all kinds of different activities to support our American heroes. And at this time, I'm going to go ahead and lead off this challenge. I am actually going to have my daughter Haley, who plays high school golf, come out and join me, because we're going to have a little challenge amongst ourselves as we also challenge all of you to be a part of this. And I personally am going to challenge 4 people that I want to take part in this challenge. First of all, I'd like to challenge Joe Bear. Joe is a longtime board member for Tee It Up for the Troops, and I know he will enjoy this. I'd also like to challenge Matt Clifford. Matt's a longtime supporter of Tee It Up for the Troops and a guy that loves the game of golf. I'd also like to challenge Derek Donovan. Derek's a United States Marine Corps helicopter pilot, and he also loves the game of golf. And finally, I challenge Bruce Stenslin, a good friend and someone who loves to share things like this on social media. So let's get started. Let's get ready with the challenge. Ladies first, so my daughter Haley will lead off with the putting challenge. We have got a very sloped and uphill challenge with the goal of bending this putt into our circle of patriotism with a group of American flags. That is a really, really good looking putt. Oh, that's perfect. Here she goes. Uh-oh.
Fishing during freedom, and you're listening to the HTrain show.
All right, and we are back, and you're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the HTrain show, and as of course, Rob is back with us, and I can't say studio, but if you're just joining us, we had a great conversation with Aaron Wilson. He is the veteran that owns and runs AA Auto Body Shop here in Kokomo, Indiana, here in my hometown. I had described it earlier, and I'll describe it again. Usually I have like 9 screens in front of me. I'm actually working off of one computer and one mixer, and somehow mysteriously I got it working. I don't really know how I did it, Rob, because remember all that trouble that we had in the past of like mixer this and mixer that, and couldn't quite figure out the sound, couldn't quite figure out the computer, and
I don't remember any trouble.
Oh no, we had trouble because remember I was upset with OBS because everybody's like, I can't hear you.
I mean, it sounds like simpler might be better for us, man.
Maybe. Maybe, but if you missed that interview, he was telling us how he transitioned and, giving some pointers to our military so that once they come back, they don't force it. They just kind of take their time and ease back into things. I honestly think that's one of the reasons why there's probably so many divorces, Rob, is because when veterans get back, like they don't really want to do anything. They just kind of want to, sit there on the couch and play games or sleep or something like that. And you kind of need that because with a traumatic brain injury, you know this as well as I do, you have to have time for that brain to heal and for you to be more productive. I think I've been out and I've had my TBI, and I think it's been about 9 or 10 years, and I'm finally able to function in society. It takes that long.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
And I think women just get irritated because, they go home, they work, and then they come home, and then they see their boyfriend or fiance or husband, laying on the couch, like watching TV or something, and they get upset because they're like, well, if he can do, if he can do it, then why can't I? And it causes a lot of problems. I know I skied with a guy that he had just got newly injured. He was a paraplegic, and his wife was getting jealous, if you will, getting jealous of him going on all these trips and stuff. And they don't get it. They just don't get it. That it takes a while.
They shouldn't have to get it. It's our battle. However, my wife has been nothing but supportive, and everything. We've been married for 23 years. So the big thing I was told when I came back was don't try to take over. Don't try to be an NCO. Don't try to, make up for the lost time, because you can't make up for the lost time. I was told lean back. She's got a rhythm. She's got a groove, and you're coming home and you are going to throw that groove off. And I got that advice from some very good friends okay, cool. Honey, what do you need me to do? And what do you need me to not do? Cause I don't want to say you're in the way, but I mean, she's got a system and you are throwing that system off by being there. So it's hard.
That's another way of looking at it too. I never thought of that, but you're exactly right. That I totally get that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob, for that perspective.
I'm here for you, homeboy. Yeah. I've got 2 kids, and so yeah, she's got to manage those 2 kids, get them to school, get them moving every day, get to work herself, get her gig going. Therapy has been one of the greatest things that's ever happened to our marriage. Thank God she doesn't listen to this radio program, because she'd kill me right now if she knew what we were talking about. Never happened. My buddy Tom Larson, who runs the Motorcycle Relief Project, it was his recommendation. He's like, you guys ought to look into couples therapy, and we did. And it's one of the greatest things that's ever happened to our marriage, by far. So yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, I've never told you this, but welcome home.
Oh, thanks, man.
But well, everybody, if you don't know the number, the text and drive line is up at 720-619-0627. The text line is up.
You just call it the drive line. That's awesome.
We're gonna call it the drive line. Yeah, text us, call us, whatever you want. We haven't had very many hiccups, so if you want to create one of our hiccups, then let's try this out, because me and Rob, we never tested the phone thing, so we're fixing to find out. But ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. It is me and Rob's favorite time. It is the what the moment. If I can get to the screen, there we go.
Those are cool tats, man.
Oh, for real. Thank you, bro. You see the Cobra?
And what is this one?
Oh, this? That's my credo. No regrets.
You have no regrets?
Dad? No.
Like not even a single letter?
No way. Not me.
Well, I love him. I think he's great.
Okay.
I think he's a real winner, Casey. If I were you, I wouldn't use protection.
What the
is not right in front of me, it's gone forever. So like if I needed to do a task, say I need to accomplish a task tomorrow, I will take the things that I need for that task and I'll put them on the kitchen counter so that when I come down tomorrow morning, they're right there and I know, oh yeah, I got to get this task accomplished. My wife is the opposite of that. So she hates clutter. So she'll come downstairs and she'll be like, oh, Rob left all this crap here, and she'll put it away. So then I come downstairs and I'm like, I thought I had something to do today. What was it I needed to do? And all the stuff is now no longer on the counter, which that results in me having a pile of clutter on the counter, which drives everyone crazy.
So while we're talking, okay, this is like the fourth hiccup. So apparently while we've been talking, I forgot to unmute the mic to the video. So everybody on the app has heard it, but everybody's like, they're reading, they're like, hey, the audio is gone. I'm like, ugh, it's, yeah, well, you know, hey, if you're hearing that's 4 hiccups, everybody, 4 hiccups. So when we hit the 2-minute warning, we'll award that special somebody. I do have to say though that interns, they do not qualify. They can't answer it and win the prize. This is for listeners, but because of my little mess up, we're down to 2 viewers. Maybe we'll pick up some more viewers here in a bit. But Rob, go ahead and did you already do your like watch party?
Yeah.
And nobody said anything whatsoever at all.
No. I'm getting text messages. My phone is blowing up. Is yours not?
No, because when I'm doing the radio show, I don't know if you know this about me, but I put my phone and stuff on silent and I put it on the floor because I can't do 2 things at once. But you know that already about me.
Well, so I'm getting text messages from like Eric with an A.
Yeah.
I'm Bernie. I'm getting all kinds of text messages right now. So, yeah, people that are, yeah. I have to manage those things. My phone is blowing. It's below the surface, so you can't see it, folks. But yes, I backed. Wall back.
All right. Well, so we've spent some time on this. We're gonna go on our next music break because I don't see many people messaging or asking us questions or whatever about like, you know, what's their, you know, what's going on in their household. Are they going through the same thing or are they going through something different, you know, telling us stories. So since that's happening, we're going to go ahead and go on our next music break. And then when we come back off of this music break, we will be getting into the ugly truth. And I have no idea what you have planned for the ugly truth, Rob. Did you even think about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Who watches the show Space Force? You're gonna love this.
I just started watching that show. Yeah. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, everybody, it is that time. We are gonna go on a music break, and when we come off of that music break, we're gonna hit right into it. We're gonna hit into the ugly truth. So whatever you do, stay with us. Don't go away. You're listening to the HTrain show that highlights all the nonprofits out there. The HTrain show.
Hi, my name is Star Baxter, and I grew up in rural Nebraska. When I was 19, I joined the United States Marine Corps and served as a military police officer from 1997 to 2005. Yes, I deployed to Kuwait and Iraq, and I saw firsthand, like many others, the toils of true hate that comes with war. I often just shook my head in disbelief, unable to comprehend what was happening to me mentally.
When I came home, my mom came to visit me and insisted that I had changed and was different. Honestly, that just pissed me off more. But as time passed, I realized I had changed. The biggest realization came in March of 2005, when I took my then 5-year-old daughter to Disneyland for her birthday. We got our tickets at the gate and then entered the park. Main Street was packed. We made it about 100 feet into the park, and already 5 people had pushed or shoulder bumped us. I felt my blood pressure rising and wanted everyone to just back away. When I felt a squeeze of my hand and I looked down, my daughter looked up at me with a smile and said, "Mom, are you okay? Let's just go to the beach." I was divorced and in the middle of a custody battle. I wanted to go home to Nebraska to be with family to help me, but I was court-ordered to stay in California or give up custody of my daughter, so I was forced to go through my pain alone. I self-isolated, I drank a lot, and when I did land a civilian job, I struggled with personal interactions and could not comprehend the seemingly laid-back laziness of people in general. In 2011, I was finally able to move to Colorado to be closer to family and my sister. With the help and encouragement of my sister, I started to get back to my roots of horses. It started simple, a ride here and there, helping her clean horses or helping muck stalls. Then I was asked to go to one of the shows and show a horse for our friend Brenda. She put me on a horse named Silky. Silky was patient and kind and guided me through that show. The following year, I married my now husband Wade Davis, and we purchased 10 acres. I purchased a horse and started working with her to get back to showing myself. I discovered that with horses, I was able to go to events and be around groups of people. Being on top of a horse, no one would crowd around near you, and if someone did get too close for comfort, I'd just lie to them and say my horse kicks. They move really quick when you say that. Also, I was able to focus on my horse and not myself and my own anxieties about being around people. Slowly over the last 5 years, people have asked for my assistance and guidance to help them in their horses. I learned that I really enjoy helping those who want help and coaching. I push others to work hard and to be the best that they can be. My coaching is focused on the sport of extreme trail riding or obstacle challenges, and I often joke that it's called stupid human tricks with horses, but in reality it's a sport in which very high level of trust and partnership needs to be in place in order to be competitive. A rider must trust that their horse will take care of them, and a horse needs to trust that the rider will not put them in a bad situation. It truly is about overcoming obstacles in life and in the arena. Photography was always a little hobby of mine. Taking pictures, I could essentially hide behind the camera and did not have to socialize with anyone. In 2018, at an obstacle challenge, I was just randomly taking pictures and I posted a few on Facebook. Those pictures got noticed, and with the help and encouragement of a few close friends, I agreed to take official pictures at an event, and to my disbelief, people actually paid me money for them. In the last 2 years, I have launched a website to advertise and promote my photography and offer horsemanship coaching. My goal and hope is that through my passions, horses, photography, and coaching, I can help others so they do not have to struggle alone like I did.
We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits and today's connections to help our military transition to civilian life. Keep watching. Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us. That's www.mikebravoradio.us. Or you can hit us up iTunes and Android store. Keep listening. We will be right back. I promise.
7 months ago was the first laser engraving I did. Didn't know what I wanted to do as far as my art. I used to hand carve, custom carve all the time. I was so excited. I opened it up, I plugged it all in, and I go, how do I get a picture onto something from this now? Wood is really unique in what it offers. It offers different characteristics, and I love the smell of it. I love the feel of it. Wood is just gorgeous. My friends look at it, they've always known that I've had an artistic side and that I really enjoy art. I enjoy doing different things. Wood has a story to tell, just like anybody's life. When I'm driving down the road, if I see an old cedar tree that's dead, I try to grab it. People have a lot of memories and photographs. They have a lot of things that tell a lot about their life, people that are in their life currently, people that aren't in their life any longer. I always worked with art. I always built tables, water features, did custom artwork. I was on the road all the time. Wanted to do something where I could spend time with my wife and my family without traveling all the time. And this seemed like a nice segue to open the store, sell custom furniture, make custom furniture, and do the custom laser engraving. I have a theory. Most people don't know how to tell you what they want, but they know what they like when they see it. I want to end up getting better and better every single day with what I do.
We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits and today's connections to help our military transition to civilian life. Keep watching. Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us. That's www.MikeBravoRadio.us. Or you can hit us up, iTunes, and Android store. Keep listening. We will be right back. I promise.
Project Sanctuary helps reconnect military families so our nation's heroes can finally come home. Find out how you can help at projectsanctuary.us.
My name is Wendy, and I am the founder of Operation Revamp, and you're listening to the HTrain Show.
All right, everybody, and we are back. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the HTrain Show, and so far we've had a pretty good show. Kind of minimum hiccups, I would think. I don't think very many hiccups tonight.
Nope. There is an exact number, but nope, very few.
Exactly. And me and Rob talk about the hiccups. So I think I'm doing pretty good when you're like, oh, I didn't know that was a hiccup. So
I can't.
Well, that's good. That's good. Okay, so before we get into it, the thing that we were talking about, the ugly truth. And I'm trying to find the sound thing. Okay, there it is. So if you missed it earlier, we were talking with Aaron Wilson. He is a veteran. He runs and he operates an auto body shop here in Kokomo, Indiana. And he had some insightful words for our veterans. Then we went to the, gosh, I lost my train of thought. Then we went to the what the moment, and we were talking about, he didn't put stuff up. Your son, and I was talking to how me and my wife, we played Jenga on the trash can. And I've started a bunch of watch parties. I don't know if you've started a bunch, but I've started a bunch. But it is that time. It is the ugly truth.
I don't think we should talk about the ugly truth.
Okay, and that is it's the ugly truth, and I just want to make sure that I have the mic and stuff on so that people can hear us, basically. So what I was getting ready to say with the ugly truth, what do you got for us, Rob?
So let's set the stage. You've watched obviously the show Space Force.
Yes.
Which I just think is it's okay. It's not The Office, but it's still, if you have served in the United States military.
I hate The Office. Let me I don't like The Office. I've never liked The Office. I also don't like Seinfeld either. I think it's dumb.
That's all we say, folks. If you want to tune in next Monday, his show will be on his own. And so the TV show Space Force is basically The Office for people that served in the military. If you have been in the military and all, there are so many things in there that you're like, yep, that makes perfect sense. Yep, that makes perfect sense. So the scene where he's all stressed out, rocket just blew up or whatever the case may be. He's all congressman all over the place and whatnot. Do you remember what he does?
I don't think I've gotten there. I've like watched maybe 2 episodes. I had to turn it because my dad doesn't like comedies. He likes shoot 'em up movies, unfortunately. But the best line in that whole, and I need to make a sound bite, interns. I need to make a sound bite that said that the best movie quote in there is, Coast Guard. Yeah, at least we're not last in line. No, you're still last in line. You guys are behind the Salvation Army.
All right, that was pretty funny too. And the guys, I love the scene when they got all the generals, all the chiefs of staff in the office, and they're all going around, and it's all our nation's favorite comedians are playing generals. I just thought that was awesome. So he gets all stressed out. Rocket blows up. Things are not going well. Congress people are telling him their version of Andrea Ocasio-Cortez is there, and telling him he's wasting money. He goes in his office, and you brought this up, dude. You started this today, and he starts singing the Beach Boys.
Oh yes, oh yeah.
And so this is all your fault because you started this conversation with the whole Kokomo thing. And that is a classic scene right there. Because you've been in the military. Your commander walked into his office after reading you your Article 15 and was like, down in Kokomo. It happened.
I don't even understand why that song is so popular. Because that song, I have to Google it. But that song, it came out in like the 1960s and 1970s, and it's like it was remade or rebirthed, and it started getting popular like every 5 years, and it just doesn't make sense.
Dude, it cracks me up to no end. Oh, look who's just coming down the stairs. Huh, on live radio. Did
you text him like I told you to?
I did, in fact. Well, hang on one second. What?
You still ate them.
I did not eat them. He's accusing me of eating the Oreos. But yes, that's something. you can picture every single one of your commanders, every one of your battalion commanders, your BCs doing exactly that. And the fact that you are currently sitting in Kokomo makes it better. I thought of you when I was watching this.
No, you complete me.
Exactly. Yeah. I thought I would have to. I thought I'm being too lenient on these buttons, man.
And the fact that you started today's interview with "I hate that song," it made it even better, man.
Yeah.
To go down as a classic scene in television history.
Possibly. Well, I think that was a classic line in television history. We're gonna have to make that a soundboard thing. So, but so okay. So I know you started watching Space Force. Have you even started watching Tiger King?
No. Why would I? Once they've called, I already know everything I need to know. I don't need. No, I'm not watching that. Star Wars for the 900th time before I'll do that. I know.
You know, that reminds me. We haven't had an update in a while. We need to call Joe Exotic. We need to call him sometime, see how everything's going, because they're making a movie about him, and everybody wants to see David Spade instead of what's his name in it.
Hey, Lake, you're listening.
Yeah.
Look at the cameras. Go ahead, look at this is who can't put away Oreo cookies. All right, thanks, man. See ya.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the ugly truth. Oh man. Oh wow. So what other shows are on Netflix right now? Dude, Netflix is getting like bombarded with listeners and watchers. We need to get the HTrain show on Netflix. Rob, that is your job. That's your job. You're gonna get our show on Netflix.
I've even got a business card that says so. It says right there, Rob Williams, marketing. I'm on. We're gonna be right behind Joe Rogan on Spotify.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, it is. Oh, we have a first caller. Let's see if it works or not. Hold on. You are calling the HTrain show.
Yes, I know, Joel. This is Sandy.
Well, hey, Sandy, how are you? You're on the show.
Wonderful. I'm awesome. I just wanted to say hi. I've missed you guys and not listening to the show, not being able to listen to the show. So I thought I'd call and say hi.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Rob, you want to say hi to Sandy, or can you hear her?
Hi, Sandy. Is this the Sandy from SpongeBob?
No. That's they call me Crankshaft. That's my name. I forgot to tell Joel that it's Crankshaft.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding. No, not the Sandy from whatever you said. What is that?
The squirrel. I had high hopes.
Crankshaft, the guy the comic that runs the bus around with kids. Not so much anymore today, but I'm burning it up at the post office. I'm bummed out.
Oh, wow. Well, hey, thank you for working hard and getting me my mail.
Yes, sir, and your medication.
Yes, exactly.
Run past a lot of medication.
A lot of really, H. You want to talk this one through, bud?
What?
I said a lot of medication Sandy's dropping off, huh?
All right.
Yeah, don't tell anyone, okay? Oh, goodness. Yeah, loads and loads, so that's important. But I miss you guys. I enjoy listening to you. I don't have much time, but I'm on my break for 15. Goes by pretty quick, so I just remember, Joel, this is the number, and I miss talking with you. Maybe I could next Monday, half an hour lunch. I'll take it a little bit later and see if I can talk to you some more. So you have the interns yet, Joel, on the show, or not? Jen and DJ, or is it all different today?
It's all different today. It's just me and Rob. You're stuck with just us.
Oh, well, that's a pretty good consolation, I guess. What you talking about today? I don't want to take up you too much time. I just thought I'd call and say hi, and I love what you guys do. I think it's very important for the veterans out there, and just to have a voice. And Joel's taught me a lot. I haven't talked too much with Rob, but thank you, Joel. I just wanted to say I appreciate all you've done for me. It was a very good learning experience.
No problem at all, Sandy. Well, hey, we're running out of time. We're gonna let you go. I'll talk to you on the other side, okay?
Okay, thanks so much. Bye bye.
For everybody else, we're really running short today, but for everybody else, we can't even really go on a music break, but we're gonna try one music break. We have to do the tribute to the troop. So we're going to go ahead and do the tribute to the troop. And then we'll go ahead and do our music break if that sounds good with you, Rob.
Yeah, man, works for me.
So everybody, stay with us. Don't go away. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the HTrain Show.
Hello, my name is EJ, and I'm the host of the 80s Rock Show on Military Broadcast Radio. Each week I take you on a trip where I share great 80s rock and roll music that does not get played on the radio. The idea for the show came as a result of a playlist I created. I started to long for the great 80s rock and roll music I heard in high school on Chicago radio stations like the Loop and WCKG. So I put together the playlist, and then after a while I realized I had the foundation of what would become a great radio show. Catch the 80s Rock Show here on Military Broadcast Radio, Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see you there.
We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits and today's connections to help our military transition to civilian life. Keep watching. Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us.
Ahead tonight, a Parker Coffee.
All right, and we are back. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the HTrain show. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a few hiccups, but for having only one screen, wow, I'm surprised at how well I'm doing. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to rush this into, it is that time. It is a very important time, ladies and gentlemen. It is tribute to the troops.
All day long.
Tribute to Truth. Sponsored by High Style and XP. Custom quality furnishings and gifts with attitude.
This is an MBR moment of heroism.
Sir, I don't know how to tell this story.
Well, you got to, Joe. You tell the American people what these men did here. You tell them how my troopers died.
Colonel Thomas G. Falzarano graduated from the Air Force Academy in 1994. During his 26-year career, he held positions in the space, missile, and mobility units. He also held an assignment on the staff of the multinational force Iraq at the U.S. Embassy in the International Zone in Baghdad, and as well as at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. He earned many awards and college degrees during his career in the Air Force and was assigned to places all over the world. Colonel Falzarano's last assignment was July 2019. He was the commander of the 21st Space Wing at Peterson Air Force Base and NORAD. On Tuesday, May the 12th, 2020, he passed away from natural causes. He will be missed by his family, friends, and his command. On behalf of everyone here at MBR and the HTrain show, our hearts and prayers go out to the family. And as always, we thank you for your service and your sacrifice. Colonel Thomas G. Falzarano, end of watch, May the 12th, 2020.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, we want to thank our producer. She looks up that stuff, gets that information, and we also want to thank Chris East for doing that voiceover for us as well. So we are at that time. We didn't even go on a music break because we were like so over, Rob. And part of it's because it's one computer, but it's that time, Rob. It is the 2-minute warning.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. Strap in.
It's the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. What we learned today. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Sponsored by Common Ground Golf Course in Colorado. A place for all and all the game teaches.
All right, real quick 2-minute because we're past time, Rob. Sorry about that.
I learned Kokomo.
So, what did you learn today, man?
I learned you hate the song Kokomo. I had no idea that was.
Yeah, it kind of gets on my nerves. Whenever I tell people where I'm from, they're like, "Oh, you must love Kokomo." Is about the song, and I'm like, "No." But yeah, it just gets on my it gets on my nerve after a while. That and like when I say my name's Joel Hunt, I'm not gonna exactly say why, but they keep asking me, "Oh, is your cousin named Mike?" Ha ha ha! Like I haven't heard that before, kind of thing. So with that being said. The one thing that I learned is this week, it's just too bad that tragedy, it brings people close together. 9/11 happened, the tragic stuff that's going on in society right now, that's bringing people together. The COVID-19 virus thing, that's bringing people together. My grandpa used to tell me a long time ago that when it comes to life, that you can't say, God, why are you doing this to me? Because then you have to say, God, why is all the good stuff happening to me? So if you're like an atheist and you don't believe in God, you believe in like a universe, I think it kind of goes the same way. There's a higher power, some sun or something. You can't sit there and question every time something bad happens, because you never question when something good happens. You know what I mean? And even though there's a lot of anger in society and there's a lot of stuff going on that we're really shy to talk to our kids about, or that we even want to bring it up, we have to remember that, in some way or some form, it is bringing people closer together. It's bringing, things in society. It's bringing it to the forefront, if that makes sense.
Does.
So, I guess the thing that I've learned about is don't ask why so much. Just let it happen. And life's like a checkbook. You're never gonna find it. Quit looking for it, and it will find you.
I am gonna use that analogy.
Right? So, but that said, and I'm gonna try this without the closer, because I don't have the closer, dude. But that is the show for us today, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this podcast, radio show, DVR, whatever you want to call it, it will be on and aired right after the show ends tonight on all channels. So whatever you do, stay with us and come back next Monday, because that's all me and Rob are about, is doing stuff for veterans and helping you guys transition. And remember, everybody, we're not doing this for us. We're doing here for you, giving our veterans a voice. Have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.
This is the radio station that ain't going south for the winter. We're with you every icy step of the way. Powered. This is MBR.
We'll be right back. You're listening to the best station that plays today's hits and today's connections to help our military transition to civilian life. Keep watching. Due to copyright laws, we cannot play via Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. If you'd like to listen to our music, feel free to download our MBR app. You can find the app at our website, which is www.mbrradio.us. That's www.Mike Bravo Radio.